Americans are under the impression that they still have a constitutional republic. No, what you have is what is known as color of law, giving you the illusion that you have a constitutional government, but in essence, they stifle and stump your rights of life, liberty, and the pursuit of, well, it's not the pursuit of happiness, but because it's written in the Constitution, actually the founding fathers meant it was property. But you have an illusion. This is not real. The government is not out of control, is corrupt. The government is in control. They don't have total control yet. They will soon. They're very close. See, this is the problem of Americans. They're not educated. They're so dumbed down and so drugged out and so apathetic to what's really going on. They just want to go back to that little place in their little world and continue living their lives like that. But that's not going to last forever. It's going to end eventually. A lot of people are experiencing a lot of pain. They're living in the streets. They're living in tents. They're living in forests. Because they lost everything. Because they were not properly educated. Because this goes back 160 years ago, way before we were born, of course. But those of us that have taken the time to find out what is really going on know that the country is not a constitutional republic anymore. Little by little, it's turning into a despotic, fascist police state. Just recently, I was watching in Russia Today how journalists from the same organization were arrested for no apparently reason, but to not only exercise the First Amendment rights, but to report the news to the people. They weren't even given a reason. They were just butt out arrested, and when they confront judge, they weren't even given a chance to speak. Over and over and over again, we hear malfeasance after problem after the disruption of the rights of the people over and over again. Look at the TSC airport problems that we're having in this country. It's insane. But that's because the American people are dumbed down. They don't know. When the North attacked the South because the South said they had enough with the corruptions of the North. And don't get me wrong, the South had their own problems too. But if people think that the South, that the main reason for the Civil War was slavery, please, that was a joke. That was such a minor issue. The only country that fought a war to end in slavery was the United States. Everyone else, as far as I have read in history, everyone else eliminated slavery to the issue of a pen. That was it. So please don't tell me that the main issue was slavery, because it was not. The reason for that war is for the elimination of states' rights. Back then, people didn't say, I'm a United States citizen. No, they didn't. They called themselves a citizen of New York, a citizen of the state of South Carolina, Virginia, Florida, Texas, because they had sovereign rights, because they had constitutional rights. But that's long gone. And since 1930, the government has passed statutes making you a defeated enemy. That's right. When they passed the 13th Amendment, you automatically became a slave, a servant, a subject. And now the government does three things. They can intimidate you, they can stump you, imprison you, or kill you. And if you have forgotten, don't forget that what happened in Waco and what happened in Ruby Ridge wasn't real. You better watch that again. That was clearly an example to show you who's really in charge. And they are in charge. The U.S. government. They're in control. There is a few that control the many via various statutes, treaties, Things like the canon law that was created by the Roman Catholic Church, which now is used as commerce laws, the secrecy involved, the occultism involved. I mean, I didn't believe it myself when I heard it that there are two numbers in your birth certificate. There's one written by the center of it, and there's one written either at the top or the bottom, left, right corner, in which is a number of you being a stock in Wall Street. But you know what? I'm at peace because I know the truth. But a lot of you don't. And unfortunately, you're going to find this very hard. You're going to find things the hard way. You're going to learn the truth the hard way. Most won't accept it. Most will want to try to live their lives in some kind of fantasy, thinking it's normalcy, but it isn't. It doesn't exist. You're owned. You're controlled. They'll tell you what to do. This satanic, diabolical, one world government is springing its ugly head up. Right now, Korea, there's tension in Korea and South Korea. They're gonna start something up really big very soon. The Rand Corporation, the lobby to start a war over there so that they can strengthen the dollar. But that's not gonna last long. Fiat currencies never last that long. In the history of the world, paper money never lasts that long. It actually destroys. Because they want socialism. They want total control in the hands of a few to control the many. And if you look at the Georgia Guidestones, folks, it states that they need to keep the population around 500 million. And keep it like that. So what happens to the other 5.5 billion people? Did you think about that one? The model for the one world government, fascist police state for the entire world is going to start right here in the United States. They already have the facilities to deal with us. And many of us will die. And that's the world ahead. And it's coming. So, don't say that the government's corrupt. No. They're in control. They won the war against your sovereign rights because they don't want you to have them. Because they want to consolidate power to the few. Who knows who they are? But so far, they're the major greatest banks, the major multinational corporations, and some say the Pope is behind it all. Because I believe he's the representative of Satan here on earth. But you take this information any way you want to. You think I'm crazy? Okay, prove me wrong. Search it out. Dig this information and find out for yourself. I'm just trying to help, folks. That's all I want to do. But don't say the government is corrupt. No, it's in control. They won a war to prove it, and they show that in the measures of Waco and Ruby Ridge. And if you think they won't do it again, you crazy. They will do it again. They did it on 9/11. Yeah, Arabs did that. Please. That was just the excuse to gradually set you up. Now they got reports stating that you're the terrorist. If you're a libertarian, if you're a constitutionalist, if you're a conservative, gun owner, pro-life, you're a terrorist. That's the world ahead, folks. Wake up. This is for your own good. God bless.